Thanks, Noel. Yeah.
So no problems with snow or anything else for that matter. Racing goes ahead at Haydock, and we start at 12:55 for the opening contest. This is the Northern Lights 2-mile hurdle qualifier, class 4. 9 hurdles to jump and £6,500 to the winner. Bahama Moon, your 5-2 favourite. Night of Glory, 3-1 Suggestion at 4s, and then Georgian Firebird, 10-1. 11's Ain't My Fault, the character 14's Lovestock Call at 16-1. 18's for Contra 2, and Kenny Style, the outsider, at 33-1. Let's return to Niall in the paddock.
We start here at Haydock with a 2-mile handicap hurdle. We'll have a look at a few of these main protagonists in the paddock. We'll start with a blue rug in is Bahama Moon, who's dropping back in trip for young John Joe O'Neill, riding for his father. This time last week he was winning Lanzarote's hurdles, and this horse off a mark of 101 still could have more to come. He's not the biggest horse. Directly behind is a really interesting runner with no rug on his number 1, Night of Glory. It's been a horrible week for Ian Jardine. Thoughts very much with all the staff up there. Night of Glory was useful in the flat with Andrew Balding. He's kicking starting his handicap here of a mark of 121 with Billy Garrity on board. I think there could be plenty more to come of a mark for him. He's got plenty of size as well. Behind it is number 3, Contra Tours, who went the wrong way for Paul Nichols. He's been well held in a couple of starts over hurdles recently for Brian Ellison. He has had wind surges since we last saw him. See if that brings out some improvement. And then behind him in the blue rug is number 5, the character, who was off for a lengthy while. And he shaped quite well actually at Hexham on his reappearance. This flatter track could suit today. He's run well here in the flat in the past. See how he gets on for Donald McKeon and Lachlan Murta. So that's a look at some of the main protagonists for our opening race here at Haydock Park.
Runners down at the start, and thanks to Niall then getting a good look at them in the paddock. And not an awful lot happening in the market, Dave, really.
Well, the front 3 in the paper are the front 3 now. I suppose Bahama Moon for the excellent John Joe O'Neill Jr. Is the strongest of the 3, and perhaps Suggestion the weakest. But you know, hats off to the SP forecasters in today's paper, because they've got it just about right.
Bahama Moon, have they got it right that he should be at the head of affairs? He's obviously been a fair horse on the flat, won a few races, and some place efforts in his attempts over hurdles.
Yeah, I think so, Rachel. He's kind of horse that's going to travel sweetly off the pace, providing it's not favouring the front runners too much today at Haydock. Then he should be able to sort of draft into the race under a typically patient ride from his very promising rider. He got worried out of it a little bit by Uno Mas last time, but that horse is in great nick for a stable going well, and he's won subsequently, so the form looks relatively solid for this level.
Next in, you've got Night of Glory for Ian Jardine, and my goodness, what a horrible, horrible, tough week they've had. Handicap debut, Night of Glory, a winner last time out, and of course running on the flat not too long ago.
Yeah, ran in the Says for Andrew Balding, sold since. Obviously, you know, hearts and thoughts go out to everyone at the stable, really. They must have had a horrific week, and hopefully this will give them a little glimmer of enjoyment this afternoon, and just a bit of light to the shade that they've experienced this week. So fingers crossed Night of Glory can go quite nicely. Beautifully bred, obviously, you know, should make his mark in the jumping game, and he's with a brilliant dual purpose trainer, so every chance that a race of this should be within his compass.
Yeah, thanks Sam, and all of us here on Racing TV echo those sentiments for the Ian Jardine team, who have got a runner and a chance, of course, first time. And he's so good at this, isn't he? You know, getting these horses, getting these recruits. And I mean, he's got a horse who had been good enough to score. So fascinating runner. Dave, final thoughts to sum it up?
Well, firstly, I echo the sentiments of the stable, but I think Ian Jardine and the other Ian Williams are the 2 best young, relatively young in the case of Ian Williams. I'm sure we won't get them saying that.
Ian, I love you.
But yeah, dual purpose trainers who are that talented are fairly thin on the ground nowadays. But these 2 are definitely up to it in a big way. But Night of Glory, I thought, was handicapped enough on that narrow victory that he got his handicap mark last time out. It's just showing a little bit of signs of weakness in the market now. It's all about really Bahama Moon, who has been beaten fair enough in his last 2 runs, but obviously expected to go a bit closer today.
Suggestion fancied, of course, the winner on Boxing Day at Wetherby over the 2 miles for Philip Kirby, and not a bad effort last time out as well. But it's a strong fancy now, Bahama Moon, for John Joe Senior and Junior, as we get across to Stuart Machin. Good afternoon, Stuart.
Rachel, boys, good afternoon. Welcome along to a very grey and raw January afternoon here on Merseyside. Starter just about ready for them for the first on Peter Marsh Chase Day. In they come steadily, this field of 9 for this Haydock Park Racing Club handicap hurdle. They're off, jumping away. Peter Marsh Chase Day underway with this near 2-mile contest, and they're 3 abreast as they make their way to the first of the 9 flights. 8 My Stars towards the far side in the red and yellow. The Character in the noseband and Lostock Hall with the grey sleeves round out the leading trio. And they all skip neatly over the first, with Bahama Moon at this stage held up at the back of the field, the red sleeves for John Joe O'Neill Jr. So on to the second they come. 8 My Style, who's a confirmed front runner, helping to dispute the early running with the Character. They rise and land as one. Lostock Hall's dropped a couple of lengths off them in third. And then Canny Style in a hoop sleeve jacket, contra 2 towards the far side, the orange cap. Out wide in the dark blue Georgian Firebird, crossing the third where the Character was untidy and Lostock Hall was even more so. The grey Suggestion now going handy. Night of Glory in the blue and green held up, and likewise Bahama Moon. So the first 3 flights safely behind them. A circuit to cover and a longish run now to the first of the trio of flights in the back straight. And Ain't My Star on the outer of the Character as they go into the bend, rounding this paddock corner. Lostock Hall wide of a line of 3 that has got Suggestion the grey between horses. Canny Style towards the inner. Slipstream there by Contra 2, the orange cap, and working across from him, Night of Glory, Bahama Moon, and Georgian Firebird, who's drifted back into the last quartet. Off down the far side they go, the Character and Lorcan Murta racing wide of Ain't My Fault and Derek Fox. Big afternoon for Derek Fox and trainer Lucinda Russell. One for Arthur to come in the big race. Georgian Firebird is the one running a bit of a solo wider of the others as they rise at the fourth. The Character just in front on that occasion, and just behind the leaders, Canny Style crashes out. The horse very swiftly on his feet, but gave a bit of a kicking to Nathan Moscrop. The mare galloping on. Nathan hopefully is about to rise as the others pass through the halfway point and clear the middle one down the back where Georgian Firebird is getting liveners. So Canny Style out of the race as the Character now leads Lostock Hall. Ain't My Fault has drifted back to dispute third with the grey Suggestion. Bahama Moon with the red sleeves on the move next door to the keen going Night of Glory. And then Georgian Firebird in the dark blue and Contra 2. And the Character lifting the pace down the back straight. And Ain't My Fault is beginning to fall back through the field relatively swiftly as they head into the far turn. So the Character striding over 2 lengths clear. Lostock Hall giving chase. Suggestion the grey up into third. And then Night of Glory, the white cap, improving to go fourth, just ahead of Bahama Moon. Contra 2, orange cap is wide of the retreating Ain't My Fault. And Georgian Firebird toiling at the back of the field. And the Character swings in, entering the last half mile, being pursued by Lostock Hall and Suggestion on the near side. And then a small break, 3 lengths to Bahama Moon, easing a little bit closer. And then Night of Glory. The Character rolling on down towards the third last, chased hard by Suggestion. Night of Glory is closing in with Bahama Moon. He'll be away to the left on the run down towards 2 out. Lostock Hall now under pressure back in 5th, and the Character still galloping on, has got a lead of 3 lengths over Suggestion and Night of Glory. Bahama Moon in 4th, mistake there in 3rd from Night of Glory. The Character himself was just snatching at it. They've still got a quarter mile to travel, 1 to jump. The Character, Night of Glory still closing in on the near side under Billy Garrity. The Character only with a slender lead on landing. Night of Glory the near side. The grey Suggestion threading his way between them, and now Suggestion forges on into the lead. Night of Glory pursuing him. The Character's weakening away. Bahama Moon is plugging on. Suggestion and Tommy Dowse are in front with only 100 yards to cover and are beginning to draw on now, and Suggestion has the answers. Draws away to win from Night of Glory. Bahama Moon never nearer than 3rd, and the Character faded away into 4th.
Another win for Philip Kirby, another success for Suggestion. 2 wins now in the last 3 starts. We'll wrap that race up for you shortly. For now, though,